Hello and welcome to this screencast. I'm Matty O'Boyle, and what we're going to be working on here in this screencast is scaffolding. Okay, so scaffolding is a concept in education that's analogous to concept in building, right? So if you're building a house and you're going to put up some walls, you put up an external metal structure around the area you're going to be working on, and that will help you build your walls, and then you remove the scaffolding when your walls are built. And in education and in music education, and specifically in ear training, it's the same idea. We're going to use a couple extra supports anytime that we enter a new variable into our ear training in order to facilitate the transition from the skill level we are at presently into that new skill level. And the primary two resources for scaffolding here in the web apps, I'm in the Melody app, but it's the same in the Harmony app for chord progressions, is your first pitch to sound and your last pitch to sound. So, for example, if we choose a few pitches here, now if that might be difficult for me. So if I'm adding a new pitch, imagine that I already play C and E, okay, but I want to add G to that, and this is the first time I'm adding G to that. Well, I might need some extra help, so I'll take the first pitch to sound and I'll put it at C. I'll put it at the lowest note in my dictation. That's generally what I recommend. And now the way the app is set up by default, and what I have the default settings here, the dictation will be 4 notes in a dictation, but I know that the first note is a C. So that will give me an aural reference with which to then frame all the other auditive information that's coming at me. And that really helps in a transition for new variables. Okay? But we also have the last pitch to sound, and I would put that at my highest note. Now, I would have a C as my first pitch to sound and a G as my last pitch to sound, and only the 2 middle notes will be randomly chosen based on these variables. So when you're transitioning into something new, you need to gauge for yourself how much scaffolding you need. And I recommend using both these functions just the way I've demonstrated, with your first pitch to sound being the lowest note that you're working on and the last pitch to sound being the highest note. If you need both of these, that's great. That's what they're there for. Use them. And when you can do your dictations perfectly with both of your scaffolding on, then I recommend removing your last pitch to sound first and then working on that. And when you can do that all perfectly, you remove the scaffolding altogether and you're on your way to internalizing whatever new variable you have chosen to work on in your ear training. And that is how you build the direct path to reach your music goals.